It's interesting. Sam Lubin and I have had this conversation regarding the core, right? And Steph and Dre, I still feel are playing at a pretty high level, right? So let's move them out of the quote-unquote core. The Wiggins, Klay, Looney thing, it feels like to me, whenever there's a shred of optimism, we're clinging to that, and rightfully so, because these guys provided a lot of feel-good for everyone, and Klay obviously to a much higher degree than those other two guys. But when Lincecum was at the end, he'd have one good start and about 4 or 5 mediocre to bad ones, but we'd cling to the one good start, and we'd say, see, he could still reach it, he could still get back there.
I don't think anybody believes Klay Thompson's going to be the Klay Thompson of the old, even when he does show bright spots. I don't know who out there believes Klay Thompson's going to be the Klay Thompson, pre-injury Klay Thompson. I don't think anybody's holding on to that hope.
Not pre-injury, but he could still touch, like, for example, how many times this morning have you and I, well, maybe if he's hot, he stays in. Like, how many games has he really been hot this year?
Yeah, but we're just talking about rotations. And if you go by feel and he's hot, do you want to set minutes for everybody? Because that's the problem with Moses Moody. Basically, essentially what happened last Tuesday night, Moody comes out and Steve Kerr admitted a mistake. Shouldn't have came out. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And you may have that situation with a vet who is rolling. Now, that's going to be an entirely different situation for Steve Kerr.
But let me ask you this.
Because if you get one of the vets, say if Wiggins or Clay's rolling.
Wiggins has rolled in 2 games.
But hold on. Let me finish. If you do get a situation in the next 2 weeks, and they are rolling, because it can happen. It hasn't happened much, but the youngsters also hasn't been consistent to that level to get that leash, right?
Agreed.
So you do have veterans who have done it before at a much higher level. And if they are rolling, you're going to pull them because of minutes and saying we got to play the young guys? That's where you could really lose the locker room there if you do that. If you do that, say, hypothetically, if Klay's going and he's rolling and he's 10 of 18 or he's 10 of 17, he's lighting up for the three-point line, and we're like, you know what? We played you 26 minutes, time to go to the young guys. It's going to be a hard decision.
When was the last time Klay rolled?
He just went through a 7-game stretch in which he scored 19 a game. He shot 40% from 3, did he not?
Yeah, but
you're looking for individual offensive explosion.
But if you're not
getting that. You're not getting that.
I guess where I'm going at is like the common denominator is like his way to contribute right now is through scoring. Like that is the primary way he is going to be a contributor for this roster, given where he's at.
All I'm saying is if he's scoring and he's rolling and he's scoring and he's giving you that, that's a hard decision.
Moody had 14 yesterday.
That's a hard decision.
I
don't
guess
think so. No, he wasn't rolling.
I don't think so either.
No, he's not rolling. He was 0 for 3 in the fourth quarter.
Like when Wiggins went for 31, and I believe he had like 29 or 27 in another game, he was rolling in those games. Like that's what I was like, the look and the feel. I just feel like Klay will have a hot quarter or a nice half.
A hot half, and that's it. And that's what he is right now as a third. I guess where I'm saying is resist the temptation. That's most third or fourth options in the NBA.
Yes.
They're not going to give you consistency. They're going to give you a quarter or 2. How many times has Austin Reeves been inconsistent, Spinotti? But you know what? You live with it, right? You know you're going to get maybe a quarter or a half. That's most third or fourth options.
Yeah, but they're also willing to adjust.
Thompson is.
But they're also, like Reeves is a good example. He's come off the bench. He's not finished closing time.
No doubt.
Like they've used him in a variety of ways. It feels like that's non-negotiable for Klay Thompson.
I wouldn't say that because last year Klay Thompson attempted 18 shots per game. Think about this. He attempted 18 shots per game. This year he's attempting 13 shots a game. That's 5 less shots for a shooter. All right, threes. Okay. He averaged nearly 11 three-point attempts per game. He's now down to 7.8.
Well, I mean,
so I would say
shooting a career
low. I would say he has adjusted to not taking a lot of shots.
No, you're talking about when he's on the court. I'm saying he's on the court too much.
Well, he's averaging 29 minutes, which is down from 33 minutes last year. So the minutes are already down. So we're talking about adjustments. Quietly, he has adjusted, right? Now, if you want him to take less minutes, then fine. I'll listen to that. But if we're talking about sacrificing, he kind of has already.
I don't think
I'm not saying he's been good, and I'm not saying it's good enough, but if you're saying that he has to sacrifice, I would say you're lying. I would say you're not watching enough because he's taking less 5 shots per game than he did last year. He's taking 3 less threes than he did last year.
Only so there has sacrificing. Like we're talking about Wiggins, Klay, Looney, right? That's essentially what most people are talking about. Wiggins, Klay, Looney, and maybe CP3 down the stretch. Those are the positions that are being blocked for Kuminga and Moody. Like those are them. So it's literally a give and take amongst those guys and those other two players. So something has to give if you want those other guys to flourish.
Right. Well, I'm just saying that the raw data is telling you that Klay has given a little bit back. That's all I'm saying. Now, if you want him to give a little bit more, fine. I'll listen to that. But he's taken 5 less shots than last year. Klay Thompson, his last 3 full seasons, averaged 18 shot attempts per game. He's down to 13, folks. He's down to 13. Let's go to the lines. Robert at San Jose. Robert, what's happening?
Thanks for taking my call, fellas. You guys have gone over some of the things I was thinking about, but moving forward, is there a big man available out there for the Warriors to maybe package Wiggins and Looney and go and get? Because the big man is back in the NBA. If you look at all the teams in the West, Chet Holmgren and everyone, the Joker, both LA teams have big guys. We need a legitimate center. Can Wiggins and Looney together, I guess that's about $33 million. Is there a guy out there that the Warriors could possibly get to make the game easier for Steph and Klay to play inside out more, to give them easier shots? Moody needs more time. I think Brzezinski deserves 15 to 17 minutes a game, as well as Kuminga needs to start. So if you move Looney and Wiggins, can you go get a legitimate big man? Is that a possibility out there?
I guess anything is possible, but I don't know who's available, to be honest with you. I don't know who's available. I got a question for everybody. Because I'm here to say the young guys should play. I thought the young guys should have played last year. I think we were the only guys in this market to defend the youngsters. Honestly, got it. But I think people forget that. You know, we all have short-term memories out here.
I love the young people.
I think people forget how much we love Jonathan Kuminga on this show. Been big Jonathan Kuminga fans forever. But I want to know now, if we do play the youngsters and you hear from Steve Kerr saying, you know, there's going to be sacrifice and it's going to change the goal, what do Warrior fans want to get out of the season? Obviously, championship, we all want championships. We get that. But what do we want to accomplish as Warrior fans this season?
I want to know that this team has a chance to win a championship in the last couple of years of Steph Curry's career.
Okay.
Not just for this year. It's also the encouragement of moving forward. And right now, I don't feel that same level of hope that I had just a year ago. Like a year ago, I was like, oh, they're going to get back to one more finals. I can feel it. Right now, I do not think they're going to get back.
Did you feel like that after the Denver game?
No. Like, I felt optimistic.
A lot of people were encouraged after the Denver game. And as we were giving away Capri Suns and fruit snacks, I'm like, damn, we're loving moral victories around here now.
It was one game. Like,
but think about how people were hyped. They were really encouraged by that game. They were encouraged. And I just thought, I said, boy, got some young athletic teams coming in. And I don't know how well we match up against that.
I don't know. Being encouraged off one game versus like the body of work of multiple months is to me, there's a distinction.
We came in here, Spinoni, remember after the Denver game? Everybody's giving out gold medals for that game.
But they also had a good record at that time, and the form and the backdrop of playing well. They've now played poor basketball for a long stretch.
I agree. I totally agree.
So I think my setting is
younger
changed.
Athletic teams have come in and showed the Warriors that they don't have the speed to keep up with them or the size. So 888-957-9570. What do Warrior fans want to get out of the season?